Hey guys, I just want to share a dream with you that I had back just last month or so to connect with the last dream that I had just given on my channel. Possibly, I believe they're connected, but I'll let you decide what you think. So let me go ahead and read the dream to you, and I'll just talk briefly about what I think it is referring to. Okay, so back in May or April of 2020, I didn't write down the exact date. So I had a dream where I was invited with lots of people to some sort of a scientific facility for the demonstration of some sort of a new technology. A scientist turned on some sort of a laser beam that shot straight up into the sky. I was standing on an outdoor balcony with many other people. It was night, and the atmosphere was festive, like a party or a celebration, because it was the unleashing of a new scientific technology. Okay, so I looked into the night sky, and then I began to see some white monochromatic images fading into view in the sky field. The images were extremely large, taking up entire portions of the sky, almost like someone were using the sky like almost like a computer monitor, and they're making a photo collage. So there were a whole bunch of images that were starting to appear. And interestingly, the images like seemed, kind of strange and unrelated to myself, so the first images were of a man and a woman who were getting married, but it looked kind of like a Buddhist wedding. They had some of the Buddhist sacramental ornaments, like the beaded bracelet of white beads with like that red, the red and the white that they often use at weddings. And in another part, there were many other couples, or perhaps there were poses of the same couple, and they were sort of collaging around the original couple. And then there were close-ups of the hands and marriage bands, and they were like holding hands, and there were like various images that were appearing toward the outer edge of the collage in the sky. So I tried to get the attention of some of the people near me, and I pointed out the images in the sky. At first, no one else around me could even see the images. But then some of them began to see the images when I was like insisting, "They're there. Can you see them?" So as some of the people saw the images, fear struck their hearts, and then they ran and went inside the building. After a short time, the images faded, and there was some sort of an audio announcement that people could begin to see some of these images in the sky if they would pay $5. And there were special telescopes with little notes advertising that you could see 5 minutes worth of images for $5. And it seemed like there was some sort of a deal where maybe you could see some more images for free if and only if you viewed the sky through some sort of like a paper telescope with only one eye open. It was very obscure, like the instructions, and it was very weird. And so I was actually, when I realized that this was now a money-making event, I was very upset. I was upset to discover that the facility was using this event to get money from the guests, because at the beginning, the whole premise was that we were all invited to celebrate the release of a new technology, and it wasn't like we were being funneled into a business deal of some sort, but then it felt like we were being used as guests. But anyway, so toward the end of the dream, there were some security officers that came right up to me, and then they asked me to leave the facility because I was causing fear in the other guests. And the reason I was causing fear was because apparently I was just pointing out what the main attraction was, which was the images in the sky. But for some reason, when I was pointing them out, it was causing fear, and they didn't want me to be there, and they invited me to leave. And I remember having the feeling like, oh, like that doesn't even seem right. And so anyway, that's the dream. That's all I remember. And so the thing I wanted to just point out by this dream, and perhaps you guys have some sort of a idea of like what some of the various things in the dream mean, but I was just having the thought that I've been hearing from various people that are sort of like coming out with things that are happening kind of inside various secret programs in the government and things like this, that they have technology to be able to project things, images into the sky, that they're able to manipulate things like the weather, that they're able to do these things like almost like shooting from space or shooting up from the ground. I mean, even just like thinking about some concerns that people have had about CERN, the big particle accelerator. And anyway, I am just thinking about those things, and I don't know if those are connected directly to my dream or not, but it did seem like in this dream there was something that the scientists were able to accomplish, and it had something to do with shooting this beam into the sky. And when they shot the beam into the sky, it was able to create some sort of an appearance of something that not everyone was able to see. I was able to see it, and then when some people saw it, they were afraid. So I don't know if that's an indication of an illusion, or if it's that it's referring to, the sort of invitation of spiritual beings to come in, through this sort of interaction. But anyway, I had the feeling like the whole pursuit was not very well motivated, because there was the whole agenda of like charging money like for these things. So it was like connected with business and other things in ways that perhaps made the pursuit not purely scientific in nature, or like purely explorative and like for the benefit of mankind, but it felt like it was more for the benefit of someone's pocketbook. So anyway, I'm connecting this perhaps to the last dream that I shared with you guys, where I had the image of the moon in the sky that then turned into a sun, even though everything was still dark. And when it began to grow and grow and grow and take up the whole sky, and I was like, what's happening? Like, Jesus is returning, But then suddenly it just disappeared, like it wasn't even real. I am almost like connecting that to perhaps this dream where perhaps there are things that are being projected either already or that could be coming up, that connected with the current technology that we have, that some of those things could be projected and make it appear like certain things are happening when really they aren't. So anyway, this is just a thought I'm having, and I wanted to go ahead and share that with you guys. And I've had many other dreams where there are strange images appearing in the sky, kind of a similar nature to this dream, except this is the first dream where it was actually connected to some sort of, scientists with technology, and the feeling that it was maybe more of like an illusion. I never really had that in my previous dreams, and perhaps I'll share some of those dreams with you as well. But for now, that's just what I wanted to share with you, and definitely feel free to leave any of your thoughts or comments below, or anything that maybe if you've had dreams or other little tidbits of information that would shed light on what this is, or possibly any other data points that are connected to this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, guys, have a great night. Talk to you later. Bye.